Hello, jury. Welcome to the Only Slightly Judgy podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Aiden. He's Sean. We're your local cinema podcast where we obsess over all things fiction and media. Now, today we have a very special double project episode for you. Today we're going to be talking about two of the best, probably best superhero media that's not mainstream Marvel or DC right now. It is actually they're both kind of mainstream now. Actually, we're going to be talking about Invincible and The Boys. Genuinely, I really like these two shows, and I think they're some of the best shows on the market right now. Sean, what do you think?
I think I would agree. The Boys and Invincible both started off. I think the show started off during the COVID pandemic, so that was an easy jumping on point for a lot of people. And I guess you could say I was like young, and I thought that was like edgy and dark at the time. And to be fair, it is. Like if you look at the source material, but then both of those have kind of evolved into their own thing by now, after like 4 or 5 seasons respectively. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, let's go with Invincible first. I think, and will continue to think that animation is the superior medium for this kind of content, and I think it shows in Invincible. There's just a bunch of stuff that it does that you just can't do in live action. Um, I loved season one so much, and I think it was like 2 years or a bit more than that between season one and season two. So I was like, I couldn't tahan the wait and just decided to read the whole comic. And I was like, it's so. I think Invincible is easily the best indie comic of our generation, and yeah, I think season one was really solid in the way that episode one completely subverts your expectations overall.
Yeah, I think the episode one twist is how a lot of people got to know it also, because if you take that away, it looks on the surface like a really standard superhero kind of story.
Yeah,
I think season one, like the Omni-Man arc of season one is still probably the defining story for this comic. I think no matter what they try, nothing will ever top it.
yeah, like genuinely that entire last episode was amazing. I don't think I think that's like top five expectation subversion up there. Like I think that's crazy. Also, like voice acting for the show is really good as well. Yeah. Um, I think let's talk about what people meme on the internet a lot about it for its animation. Um, I think for me, I will admit season two's animation is a bit goofy compared to season one, but I think it gets better after that. Like, you have like all the fights. I think the fights are okay. The conquest fight, the entire season three budget went into that. So, yeah,
I think the animation criticism kind of only makes sense for season two because they had the longest gap for that, and they also produced like a pretty mediocre
yeah,
season. I think, but if you look back at season one compared to like something like season four now, season one looks almost like a different show,
yeah.
especially when it's doing action. It feels a lot less 2D, which isn't to say it's strictly better. It's just that like I'm surprised their style changed so much between season one and season two.
Yeah,
But you're
also,
right, they have
yeah.
been improving.
But also
Yeah.
because they changed the studio like midway, so like
Yeah.
it's understandable that the animation's not up to par or like exactly the same. But I think it's been fine. It hasn't detracted from my enjoyment of the show.
I think it's such a thing where like the story and characters are so good where you don't really need animation as a crutch to rely on. It's just that were the animation to be better, it would be in like a top three show conversation.
Yeah. How much of the comics have you read?
None of them actually.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I'll prefer to find out as it goes along. I think
Yeah,
if
that's
they if
fair.
they wrap it up, I'll read it all at once.
To be honest, like I think Robert Kirkman has said that um the show Invincible show is the final form of the story, meaning that like whatever they change from the comics is kind of it's kind of Robert Kirkman cleaning up his decisions in the past, which I gotta say majority of the changes that they've made from the comics have worked out pretty well. Like they I think they like you know how season one everybody hated Amber, and then it's like people hate Amber less in the comics, but then that's because some weird stuff happens with Amber towards as the comics go on, and I think the show gives her like a proper redemption. Like I like season 3 Amber. Yeah. What do you think about Amber?
I mean, I don't think she's as bad as people make her out to be. I think the thing with the Invincible fandom for me, or at least the show fandom, is for some reason this is just one of the more toxic fandoms that I've been
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
I wouldn't say been in, but like been aware of. For some reason, anything, even story wise, anything that doesn't involve the Viltrumite arc or like Mark himself, is immediately like shat on by the vast majority of people online, which I think is really weird.
Yeah. That especially in okay, we're getting into season 4 territory, but like the Damien Darkblood episode is like people call it filler, and I'm like I like personally I don't think it's filler because I think it's very invincible to take a detour off of your main arc for a second and then have Mark do something else on the side. I think that's very invincible. Like the logic of him doing the whole Damien Darkblood thing is the same thing as him going to Mars and finding the Martians and like seeing the Sequids and things like that. It's the same kind of different way. What this is, it's a very invincible thing to take him out of the arc that he's already in and then have him do something that comes back later on, you know, that kind of thing. Like how they do Flaxons like 5 times, like how they do the Sequids 3 times, you know, like it's everything comes back. Everything is just an introduction for another thing.
I think the thing, like, I agree with you. Like, when I see people discussing the Damien Darkblood episode, the thing I always bring up is that, like, did they forget about the Martians episode, or even like the Titan episode?
Yeah.
Which, other than introducing Battle Beast and Titan, it really is just like an episode just full of fights, and that's in season 1 also. So it's like that really isn't that much detached from the show's DNA.
Yeah.
For them to like criticize it like that, I think. The one thing I will say though, Damien Darkblood looks horrible without his
Without his trench coat.
his coat and his hat. Yeah.
That's really funny. My favorite part of the episode is the thing where he has to keep taking off the mask to talk to him. I don't understand why people think that's boring. I find that really funny.
I think it's so classic that when after they reused the joke a few times, it was obvious that it would come back
Yeah.
in a bigger way later in the episode, and of course it did.
Yeah. But I'm loving season 4 so far. I think what they do with Viltrumite War is gonna be kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think if anything, it feels a bit fast for me, which like
That's fair,
episode 6, the most recent one, seems like it had a lot of ground to cover,
Yeah.
and I like how it ended, but it just felt like they were speeding to get there.
You know what? What's something I will say? Like I was talking about changes from comics just now, and the thing that popped into my mind was they actually the whole thing with Oliver being mad at Nolan when he comes back, that never happens in the comics. Like in the comics, what happens is Nolan comes back and I mean he talks to Oliver and he is like, oh, do you want? It's Nolan's idea to be like, hey, do you want to come fight in the Viltrumite War? And then Oliver's just like, oh, awesome, I want to fight in the war, and then that's it. I think the show is doing a much better job of handling Nolan's return. Because in the comics, it really felt like Nolan came back and then everybody forgave him immediately. You know, it's a bit weird. I like the conversation that he had with Debbie. I like how that it didn't resolve nicely, like the way he wanted it to. I like how that Oliver and Nolan have an estranged relationship, but then their time on that planet while waiting for Mark to heal kind of brings them a bit closer together. So I think it's really, really well done in that sense.
I think, like, from what little I've heard of the comics, the show really does step up a lot of the character drama stuff.
Yeah.
And especially the comics was like 2000s, right? Like, we all know how 2000s was handling stuff like that. So I like that Kirkman gets a second chance to like polish his story a bit.
One change I will say bothers me a bit is I think they're nerfing Tech Jacket too hard. They nerf Tech Jacket in the show way too hard. Like Tech Jacket should be able to kill Viltrumites or at least take on Viltrumites. Right now, I think what Zoe does is she just goes pew 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 and that's it. Like I think Tech Jacket should be stronger than that. Tech Jacket, in my opinion, is a stronger version. It's a stronger analogy of Blue Beetle, but like, yeah, I think they shouldn't nerf her like that. Especially it's a bad look since they gender bend the character, which isn't a problem honestly. But if you're gonna nerf the character, it's kind of a bad look in my opinion.
I think I haven't actually seen as much outrage as I expected with the gender bend. Maybe only because she was introduced in the same episode,
Hmm.
which is like episode 5, yeah. So that kind of washed away all the criticism of it, but still.
Yeah, like the only people, the people who are like genuinely mad that about the gender bend are only mad because there's a certain joke, there's a specific joke in the comics where um where they go like Virtual White War happens for over a long time, right? And then Tech Jacket in the comics, who is Zack, he he goes back to Earth and sees his dad, and then they both have big goatees, and then they go, "You grew a beard." That's the joke. They're mad that they gender bend Tech Jacket because that now we can't have that joke, which is I don't know why we're so tied to a joke, guys. Like it's not that serious.
Mm. I think, yeah, when you talk about like Jacket being able to kill Viltrumite earlier, I'll say like one of the very minor gripes I have with the world in general is that a lot of things are skewed to like Viltrumites,
Yeah.
where there's very little nuance in like how strong someone is. It's either can they fight a Viltrumite, can they kill a Viltrumite, or can they not, and that's where it ends.
Yeah, I think that's by virtue of just Viltrumites being the biggest threat in the universe. So like everybody's strength is scaled to can you fight a Viltrumite or not? Is if you can't fight a Viltrumite, you're probably weak in terms of power scale. Right? If you can take on a Viltrumite, then it's like, oh, you're pretty good. If you can kill a Viltrumite, yes, that's who we want in the Viltrumite war. Yeah. Which is why you have like
Yeah.
Battle Beast and Space Racer and these people.
Mm.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what they do in the next arc after Viltrumite War though. Because the next arc is actually my second favorite arc after the first Nolan arc. It's Dinosaurus.
Mm.
I
Oh,
love the
he's,
Dinosaurus
he's,
arc.
he's a big thing.
It's a bit he does some big stuff, yes. Some pretty crazy stuff. I'm very excited to see what they do with that arc. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
think was it you who told me that we are like roughly the midpoint of the story in terms of like show progression?
oh, yeah. We're roughly like
Yeah.
in the middle of the entire story after Viltrumite War ends.
That kind of surprised me also because I thought like Viltrumites were gonna be like the be all and all of the verse, but I guess not.
They are, you're not wrong, but more. There's more. There's way more. So yeah, just strap in. It's gonna be a long ride. At the rate that they're going, I think I've said this before, but at the rate that they're going, I think they can finish the show by like season 8, 9, around there. Maybe season 10, but likely not. Probably 9 or 8.
Hmm.
Yeah, they'll be able to do that. Alright, The Boys.
The boys.
What do we think about The Boys?
We're talking in general.
Yeah, just in general for now.
I mean, mm, I know it's really different from the comics, so I think like we shouldn't factor that in too much.
Yeah.
The boys.
I'm not gonna factor in the comics at all because the comics are terrible. They're so bad. The show is 10,000 times better. The comics are terrible. But yes, go on.
Like I started watching when season 2 released, so I finished season 1 and I was like catching up with season 2 as it was coming out. I think The Boys season 1 to season 4 feels like a really different show if you take the first half of season 1 and the second half of season 4. Like tonally it feels the same, but content wise I think to some extent it's changed. I think The Boys is very much a product of our time now because I guess the comics were a product of its time and now it is a product of our time. I think what they do with the satire is 70% of the times really smart. The other 30% of the time falls a bit flat when it's too on the nose. But what do you think?
I really like The Boys. I think The Boys is the perfect place for our edgelords to go to, like I want the gore and the and the promiscuity and all of these edgy things. Like, but genuinely outside of all of that, I think The Boys is a really really good show that shows the reality behind a world with superheroes, and I think that was like a very popular thing both back when the comics first came out and when the first season premiered, right? Because it's like, hey, what about a world where what it would really look like if we had superheroes? And that was something that intrigued a lot of people, right? Um, they also had they also had the evil Superman allegory, which people love nowadays. People love evil Superman allegories. So, yeah, I guess that's what drew people in. I actually started quite late. I started when season 3 came out. I think season 3 was halfway done when I started watching. Because I was seeing some Soldier Boy clips online and I was like, oh, this guy looks cool. So let me watch this show. Yeah, I really like The Boys. I really like the characters and like the very I like how it's a lot of human problems that they face. And that, like you said, some are a bit on the nose. I actually have a theory why, because we know about The Boys declining popularity, right? Some people are like, oh, the show's just bad now, or where's the peak gone? I have a theory for why people don't like it now, and I think it's because like you said, it sometimes it gets a bit too on the nose. It's too realistic. It's no longer a, hey, what if we had this dark reality where superheroes don't care about people and they kill people, like people in power don't really care and they just care about themselves. um that turned into, wow, what a cool alternate reality to think of, to, oh wow, this is just America today. You know what I mean? Like, I think the allegories become a bit too on the nose and people don't really like that, I guess.
I think on the flip side, there is a portion of the viewer base that thinks like this stuff really only started around season 3, season 4, when I think it's been present pretty much since the beginning. And you could say it was a bit more subtle, but I don't really think so. It's just that the pace of the world catching up, the pace of the real world catching up to these supposed fictional events have become way faster in the times that have passed. So it feels more and more obvious, more and more jarring as time goes on. But the fact is that I think the show has been pretty like fixed on its beliefs and on like taking a stand since
Yeah.
the very first season. So it really isn't like what people are saying, I think.
Yeah, same. I think like I think there was a whole thing with like, did you see, I think I saw an interview with Eric Kripke the other day, and he was talking about how for season 5 he was like, me and my writers, we sat in the room and we were like, let's just think of the craziest thing possible, right? Let's take authoritarian regime to the most extreme and do what that regime would do, right? And it's like, because like it's crazy. Like, some of them were like, should we even run this? Because I don't think anyone will buy it. And then when they wrote it, a few days later, it happened in real life. So I think it's like a mimicry of the world we live in today. I think that turns a lot of people off because people want to watch the show for escapism and stuff like that. But personally, I think it's good to have like those conversations and like that. Oh, that thing that's supposed to be crazy is happening right now. It's kind of wild, you know. I think those are
Yeah,
important discussions to have.
I don't see how anyone could have watched from season 1 and still think it's like an escapism thing,
Yeah.
and it only hits them in the face after like season 3 to 4. Whereas like it is a more like indirect way of getting people to engage with these kind of thoughts and conversations, because of like it's an irreverent story, it has superheroes in it. That alone adds like a layer of disbelief. But then when you dig into it, it really is just like mirrors.
Yeah, it really is. What do you think about season 4? Season 5, sorry.
Season 5 so far, I think it's been great. It feels like now that they have an end game in sight, it feels more focused than season 4. I think if you ask me, I'll say season 3 and 4 both spend like their first half kind of spinning the wheels, running in places, like running in circles, especially the season 4 beginning. So now that they are racing towards like a goal and ending, I think they feel much more focused. Like, we even have the whole gang back together before like
Yeah.
half of episode 1. Yeah.
I agree with you that the first few episodes of season 3 and 4 feel like they are running around waiting for the season to start, kind of thing. You know, for things to actually kick off. And while I get that, I think there's a lot of exposition. Like season 3 has a lot of exposition that needs to be told because they're introducing a character that has a lot of influence in the past. So there's a lot of exposition there. Yeah, I agree. Season 4 there was a lot of faffing about and not really doing anything until like probably the midpoint. What I think what is strange to me about season 5 is that I feel like they all started trusting Butcher way too early. Like it's so fast. Like Butcher killed Newman in front of their eyes a year ago, and then the minute he comes back, he's like, "Well, let's kill Homelander. We forgive you, Butcher." You know, like I don't know. It's a bit weird to me. Don't you think?
But I mean, they have done the like distrusting Butcher thing at least 3 times, like one for each
Yeah,
season, except for season 1. So, and it is a lot more of an extreme situation that they find themselves in, because I would assume like the people who are in the camp only had like snippets of information. So like once they get out and the situation is laid clear, it feels like they would be a lot more willing to like step down to Butcher's level. Of course, we do still see them doubting it, but then I hope that doesn't like derail the story too much because there isn't much time.
yeah, yeah. I agree. Dude, but when I saw that the episode where, um, just everyone starts getting it on, I was like, okay, we are all dying this season. That's great. This is too happy. We are not getting away with this. Well, Kripke did say that to not get attached to characters, so I I have a very strong feeling that some folks are gonna die. I mean, one person already did. Um,
Yeah,
Spoiler section here. Skip ahead. What do you think about A Train?
it was a good redemption, a good death, but his Quicksilver scene didn't have a song in it. What a waste. What a waste.
They're like no to slow motion song propaganda. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can't do a Quicksilver scene without a song. It just feels weird. Like, as, as he started running, I was like, wait, where's the song?
Something I do wanna point out though. I feel like this has been pointed out by like 10,000 people on the internet, but just the sound design of A Train's whoosh. I think that's really that's really prominent here as well, because it's like everything stops and then you hear the like it's a passing by, like it's a passing train. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it was, I think it was really good. And like I think it also gives us like more spec into how A Train's powers actually work. Like he moves faster than light. Like what? That's crazy. Like on average he moves faster than light. I mean, which is why he creates a sonic boom everywhere he goes lah.
Does he move faster than light? Or, I mean, are the lasers like light? I don't
I
know.
would assume so. I wouldn't know what they would be other than light.
I mean, that's fair. But, I mean, I wish he got a few hits on Homelander, like
Yeah.
with the spare time he had. But I mean, what a way to go out! Like
Yeah.
complete full circle out. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
It's
I
good.
wish he would have had a like a Red Rush versus Omni Man kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah,
fast
I mean,
punching thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I get they don't have the budget for it, but he could have done it when he was in slow mo still. But I mean, it's just a minor. It's just a nitpick.
Yeah. It's like when Quicksilver like slows down and he fights Apocalypse. That scene in X-Men Apocalypse. Yeah, like that. I think that would have been cool. But I think also because Homelander is extremely fast as well.
Yeah.
That's why. But yes, what a way to end an arc. What a way to end an arc, man. Yeah. He starts the show. The show starts by him running through a girl, and then his part of the show ends with him dodging a girl. Like that's I think that's one of the best redemption arcs put the TV out there. That's like Jamie Tart Ted Lasso level redemption arc, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like one thing I was thinking about when we were talking about The Boys is, I think the OG season 1 cast is just way too strong that most of the characters they introduce afterwards, with the exception of Soldier Boy, feel like a bit weaker in character. They feel like gimmicks. I think people like Firecracker or Sage, they all feel like it doesn't feel as fleshed out as the
Yeah.
OG Boys and the OG 7 cast. Yeah, it's just one thing.
They're just people with party tricks.
Yeah, I mean, in universe it feels logical. Like maybe Vaught's getting desperate, but like, out of universe, like writing wise, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's because like in season 1 it would only make sense for the people with the quote unquote strongest abilities to be in the 7, and then towards the end it's like we don't really have a lot of great superpowers, because let's be honest, the superpowers that we see beyond the 7 are kind of gross. Most of them are either gross or they're weird or they're useless, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because like those are drugs. It's medicine. It's not like actual superpowers. So a lot of it is so
Yeah,
biological.
it's just lottery at that point.
Yeah.
But then from wait, have you seen Gen V season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like then you have Project Odessa, which is like creating god soups, and then you have Marie. I'm really wondering how big of a role Marie is gonna have in this, because she's the next strongest soup after Homelander and Soldier Boy, right?
Yeah. I think the Gen V gang is genuinely just like really fun. I hope they get a part to play in, I guess, mid-season. Maybe not too much towards the end,
Yeah.
because that'll take away from, yeah.
I do the episode, was it episode 2 or episode 3? Episode 2. That episode 2 ending, bro.
Yeah, we're
I was-
getting the spoiler territory again, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, spoilers here. Don't skip ahead. But when Homelander walked over to the bag and started talking to it, and then he walked away, right? I literally said under my breath, I swear if that bag sits up, bro. And then it sat out. I was like, not strong enough.
Honestly, I was thinking of that since like they were in the basement and they showed the advertisement guy like falling over, and then they showed the
Yeah.
volcano guy exploding, but they didn't show Soldier Boy. That was when I knew he was definitely alive. And it's like,
Yeah, like
it
you
would
don't
be
too me
too
you
easy
kill
if he
Soldier
just
Boy
died
that
from that.
fast.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
like,
crazy.
you have to consider that they wouldn't bring back Jensen just to have him die in one episode.
Yes, exactly.
And also,
especially with his
story would be so cheap.
supernatural cast that's gonna be around.
yeah,
By the
it
way,
would
did
be
you
so easy if
go ahead?
they could just like drop the vial somewhere and the Homelander would just drop dead somewhere else. I think it's too straightforward for them.
Yeah, that's fair. Did you see you know the other supernatural guy, Jared Padalecki? Did you see what he already revealed what character he's playing? Did you see?
No.
He's playing his character is Mr. Marathon. It's a character from the comics, and he's the original speedster. He was the original speedster before A-Train. I mean that's what he is in the comics lah. I don't know how they're gonna use him in the show, but yeah, it's kind of crazy that lose one speedster we get another speedster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder what his role will be, because a lot of times we see like older heroes and they are all like sort of very similar characters with like
Yeah.
washed up, jaded, stuff like that.
Speaking of older heroes, we've got like Thomas Jefferson up in here, David Diggs as Old
Yeah.
Father. Crazy, wild.
It feels really shoehorned. Like I get
I know,
like,
right?
the satire they're going for with him is so obvious. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah. But when I saw him in the on the poster and in the trailer, I was like, oh, they're doing Old Father. For context, Old Father is Diddy in the comics. Yeah, but I don't think they'll go that direction.
I feel like we already had that once with like EZQ.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Ashley's powers. Ashley's
Oh,
powers.
that. What do you
Dude,
think about it?
dude, the minute I heard her voice and the like her voice, right? But I'm like, that doesn't sound like a voice that's in her brain because it's muffled by something, right? Which you then find out is the wig that she's wearing. I was when I heard the voice and it was muffled, I'm like, is she Professor Quirrell? Is this a Voldemort thing that we're doing? And then she takes off her wig and it's just Voldemort at the back of her head.
I didn't clock that it was muffled. I thought it was like I didn't clock that it was muffled. But the thing is, I saw someone post like the Boys season 5 spoilers without context, and it was like the
Professor
Quirrell
Quirrell.
scene.
Yeah,
Like that was
man.
like a day before I watched it, and I was like, no, that's with a lot of context. So
Yeah.
it's like I wasn't surprised at all because I already seen that. So
Like, dude, she's got a golem at the back of her head, man. Crazy.
it's kind of out there to think like that's what Compound V can do to you, like create a
Yeah.
whole other consciousness. Yeah, but I mean it's fun. Ashley's a really good character.
Yeah. I think I was surprised that they publicly revealed her to be a soup. I thought that was something that they would keep under wraps, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
And now she's vice president? Okay. Like her press conference at the White House felt very JD Vance to me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it did. And then it's like I think it's implied she calls out the only reporter that she knows by name
Yeah, yeah.
to like answer the question. Yeah, that is. I mean, whatever, man, whatever.
They can't keep getting away with this. They can't keep getting away with this, honestly.
Yeah. And if they don't slow down, I think we're bound to have a really good season 5.
Yes. I'm very nervous for how this season's going to end, but I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah. Wait, is Grace Mallory dead? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
she died last season. Ryan pushed her against the wall
Oh,
and
she
she
died.
broke her neck, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she did.
We haven't seen Ryan either. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen Ryan yet either. Yeah, where is he? No, I remember Homelander says something in like episode 1 where he's like, Ryan is
Is there something
somewhere.
about boarding school?
Yeah, boarding
But
school.
obviously that's the cover. I don't remember if there's like an actual explanation for it in like previous season or something. I don't remember.
Do you think he's being like held captive or something? Like,
I wonder if he's like off on his own, but that doesn't make sense either.
yeah. Because
Because last time he was still with like the CIA guys.
yeah. When's the last time we see Ryan in season 4 again? I remember he kills the stunt guy. And after that,
That was really early.
yeah, that was really early. That was like episode 3.
Yeah. I think after he kills Grace, he doesn't agree to go with Butcher, and I think that's where it leaves off. But I don't remember.
Yeah.
Mm.
A bit weird.
Yeah. Mostly, I'm just waiting for like Stan Edgar to come back with the Judgy crew, hopefully.
please. Let's go.
Then it will be complete. Then we can move on to like the plot.
Yeah, hopefully. Just I have a bit of a fun question that I was thinking of the other day, which was out of the original seven, excluding Homelander, who do you think wins in a free for all?
I feel like if we go by usual superpower logic, it would be Asian, but they don't really show how. Like, I'm not sure how broken species are in the universe.
Yeah,
So yeah, they don't really show it that much. I think probably Maeve.
probably Maeve. Yeah, my answer would be Noir, mainly because of experience and stuff like that. But yeah,
And we're talking the original Noah.
yes, the original Noir.
Yeah.
Definitely not the new Noir. Oh, speaking of which, what do we think is going on with that Noir?
I know there's some pretty out there theories about him, but I think he's the same guy, just
Yeah.
like trauma or something. But they seem like they're going out of their way to set up something there. I
The
don't know.
most popular theory online about the whole comic thing, the clone Homelander thing, I don't think they should do that.
Yeah, that's one thing I know. But I mean, Homelander has like X-ray vision, doesn't he? Yeah, I feel like he does.
He does.
So it's probably just a guy, but he's like traumatized or something. That's what I think.
Yeah. I wonder why. But yeah. Alright. That's gonna do it for us this week. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any hot takes, let us know in the comments below or in our hot takes description. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.